what are some basic terms like in the legal department that every industry, irrespective of the work they do or the industry they belong to, every corporate should know, like which is non-negotiable?
Yeah. So to start with, obviously, once like starting a company, what is required is having a knowledge about incorporation laws. What type of entity do you want to have? How do you want to set it up? How many members? And the management needs to be there. So having a knowledge of those incorporation, your registration, if you want to go up in there, because we also have startup initiative that's given by Government of India, which gives you a lot of advantages, or if it is a foreign subsidiary. So those are the basic things that you should be very clear about. So yes.
So I can relate with some of your terms, like leave encashment, labor law, and one more you said the incorporation part, because
Correct.
I am doing CS also with along of
Okay,
this. So we
okay,
have a
right.
subject company
Yes,
law.
yes. You
So
have to study in
yeah,
depth actually, because
yeah.
I also actually did the foundation of so because before there used to be foundation and then
Yes,
executive.
yes,
Now
yes.
foundation
It's
has
like
been removed now.
CSEED. No, we have. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the podcast series. Today we have Sakshi ji from the legal department, and she has experience of 8 years. So now she is into corporate, but before she was in working in Delhi High Court, right? So yes, let's begin the podcast. So,
Right.
firstly, welcome to the podcast,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
And I would ask you the very first question, and that is why you switched from Delhi High Court to the corporate part. Like you
Yeah.
were working in the High Court,
Yeah,
and
from
then
litigation to
yeah,
basically, yeah. So I've always been fascinated by corporate law, and even I remember back in our second year in law college, we were introduced to corporate law and partnership law and all those. And even then, I was attracted towards it because uh, the basis of how a business works, behind the scenes of it, how from the smallest things of how a founder makes sure that the startup is working, to how the funding is, and then also making sure, obviously, coming the legal implications of it. So that was something that has always been there in my mind. I did, as you said, I did start with litigation career, and I started working in Delhi High Court and Supreme Court. But then, as time went, I did realize within a gap of like 2 years that corporate is where I'm supposed to be, and because that was always I was always still following that, and even when I was doing litigation, I was doing a lot of corporate litigation. So, and then once before, I think COVID was also a good push to it because the courts closed and all. And then I realized that, this is the right time to actually make the switch, which I've been thinking of a long time. So, yes, those things all mixed finally made me switch to corporate law. And I think I've never been happier for it. So,
so from your perspective, what are some basic terms like in the legal department that every industry, irrespective of the work they do or the industry they belong to, every corporate should know, like which is non-negotiable?
yeah. So to start with, obviously, once like starting a company, what is required is having a knowledge about incorporation laws. What type of entity do you want to have? How do you want to set it up? How many members? And the management needs to be there. So having a knowledge of those incorporation, your registration, if you want to go up in there, because we also have startup initiative that's given by Government of India, which gives you a lot of advantages, or if it is a foreign subsidiary. So those are the basic things that you should be very clear about. After that, because obviously every company has employees irrespective of their industry, so having a clear knowledge in regards to your employees, your employment and HR laws, the labor laws which are there, because that is something that has to be dealt with, and that also includes your things like wages or leaves or policies. So that having proper knowledge is that's very important. um, then I also think because you have to, at the end of the day, business has to protect themselves, their goodwill and reputation. So having good information regarding intellectual property rights, protecting yourself basically. If you have a logo, if you have a tagline, making sure that it is registered under IPR Act is very necessary, because we have seen, like, in today's world, and especially because after the digital transformation that has happened, that everything is online. So if there is even some similarity, that can affect your customer base, that can affect your goodwill that's there. So that is important. Also, with coming of, so in 2023 we had Digital Data Protection Act. Now, unlike European countries and America and all, now it is also very important now that we have our own privacy law to make sure that your customer data, your employee data is protected. So having that knowledge of data privacy and the protection is also very important. So I think, yes, those are the things to start off with, which every company, irrespective if you are an MNC, if you are setting up a startup, and in whichever field, this is something that everyone should be very clear about. So that, because if the base is strong, then you can build a good company over it. So, yes.
So I can relate with some of your terms, like leave encashment, labor law, and one more you said the incorporation part, because
Correct.
I am doing CS also with along of
Okay,
this. So
okay,
we
yeah.
have a subject company
Yes,
law.
yes. You
So,
have to study
yeah.
in depth actually, because
Yeah.
I also actually did the foundation of so because before there used to be foundation and then executive.
Yes.
Now foundation
It's
has
like
been removed now.
CSEET. No, we have.
Yes.
It's like
Okay.
CSEET.
You have to pass the
Yeah,
exam now. Yeah.
then we have
Yeah.
executive.
Yeah.
So in executive
there's a lot
we
of
have
law. Yes, yes.
we have this company law. So
company
उसमें
law, business
हम
law, and
पढ़ते हैं,
management and all
yeah,
that.
finances and everything. तो उसमें we have this
Correct,
incorporation
yes,
part,
yes.
and then starting ही सबसे पहले वो पढ़ते हैं कि
Right.
public company, private company, and their diversifications.
True.
So yeah.
Yes.
In your experience, like, do you feel like there are challenges when you try, or when you actually align business goals with some legal goals? Because of course it is hard to differentiate between what is legally right and what is right for business. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. There are a lot of challenges with come with it, because see, the thing is, being a business, you want to move forward at a quick pace. We always have pressure from business teams, from the management, from the stakeholders, that we have to move fast, we have to close the deals, review the agreements, and move forward. But at the same time, the thing is, my job as a lawyer is to make sure that the legal risks are minimized, and that also we work towards mitigating those risks. So yes, I over the time I have realized, especially once you're working in as in-house counsel, that striking that balance between making sure that legal is not a roadblocker, and but also making sure at the same time that there is safeguard of the company's interest is very important. uh, for that also, what I feel is, as a lawyer, you need to start speaking in business terms. So let's say we have some big deal or big vendor which we have to go forward with, and this has been happening in past few months. It has also happened that but they're not ready to maybe change things, or our teams don't understand, because see, I don't expect business teams to understand the legal risks, because those are different terms for them. So understanding how to speak in business terms to tell them that, let's say, if we go forward with this, how it will impact the business in long term, or how it will impact the goodwill or the reputation of the company if we go forward with this risk. That is something that's very important, and making sure also updating yourself. And that's the difference that comes once you're working in a law firm, let's say. That is something you don't understand, but once you're working as a lawyer in a company, you have to understand that you have to work with the different teams, like a cross functional is very, very important being a lawyer in a in-house counsel. Because what happens is, you have to talk to sales team, business team, risk, product, to make sure you understand their needs, and then you replicate that in the agreements or the contracts that you're doing. so that your risk is also mitigated, that is handled, but your business goes forward.
So you belong to a domain which is actually connected with each and every part of
Yes,
the
absolutely.
company.
Because once you're working in council, it's not just you working in your legal team. You have to work with all the teams together to understand their needs and then to be able to deliver that, making sure that the business is going forward. So, yes.
So I have a question. Like you said, after the COVID thing, you shifted to the corporate and all of that. So have you worked in any fintech company before, or you were directly here? Like this is your first fintech company ever?
No. I worked in a fintech. Before this, I was working in a fintech, edtech startup also,
Okay.
where I was working as a legal manager. So that also, it was the same. So what I felt, and that is also that helps you in your experience. But all of those companies, once you're working in, and especially once you're working in a startup environment, you have to get used to dealing with that pressure because things move at a very fast pace. And that's the reason not everyone can also sustain working in a startup environment. But those are the risks, and the reason I like it is because the reason one, even after my previous, once I had experience working in a fintech startup, I again switched to another fintech startup was because I like the challenges that a startup brings. I like that you have to be on your toes, you have to make sure that you're updated with things, and that then again going back to a previous discussion, that striking that balance between that the business is going on, because it always obviously feels good that you are being able to help the business go forward with. So yes.
I was actually about to come on that question, that how the legal team actually keep up with the fact that the law is changing every time. Like
Yeah,
there is some or the other new law like every day, or you
Yeah.
can say like in a while.
Yes.
So how this actually legal experts or legal domain, how they actually keep up with this fact.
Yes, so no, absolutely correct. That legal domain, like we have, it's like ever evolving. And the thing is, where we also fintech, there is no particular law. All we have are RBI guidelines, or guidelines by other regulatory authorities, circulars, notification. And I think sometimes it's like in a month there are like 10, 15 guidelines which comes. So it is very important. Like I can't stress how important it is to be able that you not only are sure that you are getting those on time, but you also understand and then convey it to the respective teams. So as you asked, to make sure that we are updated for it, we go forward with like things like I have, like there are RSS feeds. So subscribing to those on the websites. Like now I've subscribed to the RSS feed of RBI. So as soon as any notification by RBI comes, which is in regard to NBFC or any fintech related, it directly immediately comes to the email. Apart from that, a lot of law firms these days have really good newsletters which they publish every week. So subscribing to those to understand what the present, because those not only give you the guidelines but also the summary behind it, their interpretation of what as per them, because sometimes there's different interpretation of I might think
Yeah.
something else, another lawyer might have some different understanding. So it's very important to have that. Other thing is also having your own internal as in legal circle, so that once in a while, once you don't understand, you can just pick up a phone or meet your legal colleague who is working in different industries and then ask them, because then again it gets difficult to understand. So reaching out to law firms, reaching out, having your own circle of people is very important for those things. So yes, and then also I made sure that internally, my team is growing now. So internally also we have our own discussions. That what, let's say last week, whatever guidelines came or whatever circulars or whatever, let's say there was some news by RBI. RBI penalized some banks or things, because that is very important to know. So if I get something, I make sure that my colleagues read it, or if they have something, then they share it with me. So that inner sharing network is something that comes really handy.